All right, we're doing our radio show, and we're just going through some questions, discussing. Yes, it is on, Tom.
Okay.
All right. So far, to start off, we have Nick Antonini.
You mean Darwin of Love.
This is the radio show. Paul Tunick, Thomas Ella, and Michael Walter. We're discussing our ideas. So, should we do breakup questions? Yeah. Should we do tell me about your perfect first date? Give you a videotape of what it does to make a real radio show. Our inspiration is, who's that? The girl.
Delilah.
Delilah.
I thought there really was like a Dr. Love.
I don't know. Well, that's
Like a 99.5.
yeah.
No, wait, no, it's Love Line.
No. Delilah is like, people are just like, hey Delilah, like, 2 years ago today, like 2 years ago today, my daughter got ran over by a recycling truck. This was like her favorite song. Can you play the song? She's like, oh, you're so strong. Like, oh, I'll play that song for you. Thanks for calling. Like, let's go through the.
Yeah, let's go through the order.
First question.
Now that the camera's on, especially.
Okay, the
Yeah,
album.
just for the camera. Not
That's a good idea.
We're ready, but for the camera.
I'm going to start off. I'm going to introduce the show. Say I'm the. Do you guys want the questions in advance?
Fuck, I don't know what I'm gonna say.
Well, I mean, we can stop the recording after that and be like, all right, what are you gonna ask? And just think like, do like one and then a follow up and then stop it. Do one more, a follow up.
Yeah, that's excellent actually. And then we can. That will make me able to separate it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's really great. Are you ready to turn it on?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of what I'm gonna say. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of that too. I'm like, me too.
For like the tell me about yourself thing.
Tell me about your perfect first date is the first one. Or do you want me to?
I think we'll cut before the questions.
Okay.
This way we can be like, what are you gonna say?
I think we should talk about what we're gonna say for these before we just improv.
Oh.
You know?
Improv is
We're
live.
gonna say, hey, it's gonna be, hey, this is
Everyone's
Big
loved
Guest.
everything.
This is Michael Jackson here, DS106 Radio. This is our show, Trapped in a Closet with Dr. Love. We got 3 guests today. Obviously Dr. Love's here.
Yeah. We have 2
And then
other
you'll
special guests.
Yeah, and be like, give a warm welcome for Dr. Love, and like in a radio show they would just play like a fake clap sound,
Mhm.
and then he'll be like, hey, Dr. Love here. Thanks for having me.
Got my PhD in love.
Got my PhD in love.
University.
And then he'll be like, I'm excited to talk tonight about my favorite thing, love. And then you'll be like,
Love.
thanks for coming, Dr. Love. And then you'll be like, we also have P Tuna over here, and I'll be like, hey, it's me, P Tuna.
So just give me this when you're done introducing yourself so I can catch the next person. All right.
Are you writing your thing
I don't know what I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
say.
gonna start writing some stuff down.
Okay.
So I have like a.
If you want to use my laptop, Paul, right now, write yourself down.
I mean, if I just had a piece of paper.
Just use my laptop. I'm just improving it.
Well,
Just throw.
Because when we get to the question.
A lonely guy.
Yeah.
Just like eating sushi by yourself.
It's like,
That's
how to approach
great.
a girl, you're like,
Doctor self-loving here.
No, you should for that one it should be like something about like you post something on the internet. Like it should be like you, and instead of like how do you approach a girl, you
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
like, well, first you open up Facebook and
Yeah, first
you go to her.
you go to her your Cupid profile.
Okay,
Cupid
It
profile.
actually helps if you look at her interests first. Lets you get a little feel for who she is,
Just
what she's
so
all about.
creepy. And Paul, you can be like.
I like to look at her interests first, so I can say that all of her favorite bands are my favorite bands.
Yeah, I went to that concert last night. That's so funny.
Then I spontaneously played off like, yeah.
That's what I mean. Is I'm just gonna. There's lots of yeah.
Oh, I tell them,
Yeah.
I tell them pretty girls.
I'm just gonna say.
What?
Yeah.
Do you want to say it once before we start?
No, I'm just gonna change it to Avril Lavigne.
Perfect.
Sarah McLachlan's always.
I don't think, is she alive still?
Yeah.
Okay, then Sarah
You still
McLachlan.
listen to dead people's music.
Celine Dion, that would be
Absolutely
better.
not. Whitney Houston, you could
Yeah.
die.
I can improve.
I thought you were funny.
Nope.
I thought that sounded fine.
Alright, I'll keep it. I think when we do it,
We should just
when we
re-record
do
it.
more, we should just re-record it because it just always gets better with practice.
Okay. All right. So, Tom, what do you think about making a radio show? Easy, harder?
It's a lot harder than I would have expected, There's a lot of personalities you gotta deal with, a lot of divas. Personality clashing, everybody wants to be... everybody wants to be the main guy. But it's tough, It's tough when you're the star of the show and everyone wants to claw the way up to the top.
So, Nick, do you think it's easier, harder? How do you think this compares to what you think it would be to make a radio show?
I think it's a lot easier.
It's a lot more fun than I imagined. And by fun, I mean just laughing the whole time instead of actually doing the radio show.
It was pretty fun making the radio show. You know, we had a good idea to go off of, so it was easy, and I could just, slipped right in as another character, so it wasn't too hard. And the other guys were really funny. My favorite part was probably when we started recording, how we would think of like funnier and funnier things to say, like, trial and error. We would record it, and then, it wasn't quite there. The timing wasn't exactly right on the jokes and stuff like that. So after, one or two recordings, we would start laughing in the middle of the recording because it was actually that funny. Yeah, it was also interesting to see like how, timing works in a lot of these things, like when because they can't see you, but you've said your thing and you're like looking at the person like that, like, all right, your turn to speak again. He's like making sure you're actually done. And yeah, the hardest part was probably the timing, like I said, and trying to be funnier than the other guys because they were saying some pretty funny stuff, so I had to step up my game a little bit, write some funnier stuff. And
Hey there, I'm Thomas Ella, and welcome to The Love Den. This is where I've been editing a lot of Trapped in the Closet with Dr. Love and thinking of you. And yes, this is a Zebra Snuggie. I'm on spring break. But, there is the whole technical... Hold on, let me just turn that down. So, there is the whole, like, technical aspect of working on Trapped in the Closet with Dr. Love. And, I mean, that's been a pretty cool learning experience, Like, I mean, it's a creative project, so it's always fun to work on, even, like, during some of the more, like, a little bit tedious parts, like balancing out everyone's audio levels and stuff, and getting rid of some awkward pauses. But, I mean, we've done a show that probably no one should ever have done, and no one should ever listen to, and that's awesome. And we're doing it for a grade. How cool is that? But, I really appreciate that we've gotten to do it, and it's a cool learning experience. Like, I didn't really anticipate, acoustics and mic placement and how far away everyone is. I didn't really think about that while we were recording, so, I mean, you really find out later as you're editing this stuff, like, what you should have done. And, all the other stuff that we've been able to do has been really cool, too. Like, I wanted to make the cover for Trapped in the Closet with Dr. Love look like a 70s porno box. And sure enough, I made it look like a 70s porno box. I mean, I went to Google search, and I typed in sexy male doctor, and I turned safe search off, and, I just picked the one I liked the most. Let's just say that. So, I really like how that turned out, and then I put together a little blooper reel with, turned out the only bloopers I had were of Nick screwing up. I don't know if that's because he's the only one who screwed up out of us, but it seemed that way. But, I mean, it was fun to put together. I mean, the whole thing's been fun to put together. I mean, it's a creative project, and it's cool, and I'm glad we're getting a grade for it. That's awesome. I mean, like I said, like, this is not something that should have been done. Or, I don't know, like, I hope we shouldn't listen to this. Trapped in the Closet with Dr. Love is not something that people should listen to. But we're going to. Let's cut to it.